Hello friends and welcome back. So friends, in this video we are going to start working on our backend section. So before that, let me tell you something that you can get the source code by using the link which is given in the description box. Okay, when you click on this link, as you can see, you will be redirected to my GitHub page. Okay, so this is my GitHub page where I have hosted the code for this, and it will be updated every day. Okay, as soon as I release a lecture. So as you can see, if I go in this source directory, okay, and then you can check the code in this app.js file that I have written yesterday. So this is the code, okay, and you can use it to check out your code whether there is some mistake or not. Okay, if it's not working, or you can also get help by reaching to me in the comment box. Okay, you can comment here. So friends, this is how you can get the source code, and after getting this source code, let's now start building our backend section. So here I am in my code editor, Visual Studio Code, and this is my source directory, okay, source folder. And inside that, yesterday we created app.js, okay, this language translator file, okay, which will help us in translating our app from English language to 4 other languages: German, Italian, Spanish and Russian. Okay, and after that we also created our index.js file, which will be used to render our web app on our web page. And after this friends, what you need to do, just go to this source directory, okay, select it and right click and click on this new folder. And after creating a new folder, name it as helper. Okay, name it as helper, and inside this folder I want to create some new files. And you can go to this icon and here and click on this icon to create a new file inside this helper folder, and I am naming it as my fake backend. Okay, because first of all, let us set up our fake backend, which will be used to test our application during the time of development. So here I have created a new file inside my helper folder, and that is fake backend.js, as you can see here. Okay, so after this I am going to edit, or I am going to write some code inside this. And for that purpose, here today I am going to use this new code editor brackets, because actually friends, what happens when I am writing code here, then it's not clearly visible to you people, because when I zoom in here, you can see when I zoom in here, then I have to scroll left and right, and that is really cumbersome for me. So for that I am just using this new code editor, that is brackets. So this is my chat app. Okay, inside my app there is a public folder and a source folder. Inside source I have just now created this helpers folder and this fake backend.js. So friends, what you need to do, the first line of code that you have to write is import Axios. Okay, what is Axios? Axios is an API, okay, which will be used to fetch, get and post data to our backend server. Okay, so here I am writing import Axios from Axios, which is basically present inside our node modules. Okay, and after this you have to write import, I am importing a mock adapter, okay, which will act as a handle. Okay, so import mock adapter from Axios mock adapter. So here I am writing Axios mock adapter. Okay, after this we need to declare a constant token, okay, that is kind of a variable which will be unique for every user who will be logged inside our application. So friends, this is basically a unique kind of ID for every particular user that uses our application, and this will be automatically generated by our Firebase backend. But here, because this is just a fake backend, so I am using some random ID. Okay, and ID basically looks like this. So here I am using this, and don't worry about this, just copy and paste this, and this will be available in the description box of this video. Okay, so you can get this ID from there. And after declaring this constant ID for a user, and this looks kind of scary because this needs to be unique for every user, and it has a specific format and hashing pattern. Okay, so you don't need to worry about it. it will be handled automatically by our backend server. Okay, and this is just a fake backend for our testing purpose, and that's why we have to enter it manually. Okay, so after this I am basically defining a user. Okay, here, so let user equals, and then after this I have to enter the parameters for the user, and I am giving it an ID of 1. Okay, and after this you have to use this comma to mention some more parameters inside this. So I am naming this user as our name of the application chat via. Okay, and after this you have to give it a username. These are all the credentials that will be needed in our backend server. Okay, so I am giving it a username of themes brand. Okay, themes brand. After this you have to give some password, okay, which will be basically used to authenticate this user. So I am giving password as 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, just simple. And you also have to mention some email ID. Okay, so email is, let's say here I am giving email@themesbrand, email@themesbrand. Okay, so here I have given this themesbrand.com. Okay, and after this you also and because this is a string, so you need to embed this inside this single quotes. Okay, otherwise there will be an error. And friends, you also need to mention some role for every user. So here I am giving the role as just role. Okay, because this person can be admin or just a simple user, so that is the purpose of defining role. Okay, and here because it's just for testing, so I'm giving it just a role as a role. Don't worry about it right now. And I'm giving it token as its default token, which I have specified here. Okay, you can see. And friends, after this just end this like it. Okay, and we have just defined our user. After this, friends, I have to declare a const fake backend function. Okay, which we used in the last lecture. Okay, in our application, let me show you. So here is my index.js file and app.js. So you can see I have imported fake backend from helper folder, and inside which there is a file known as fake backend. So here is my helper folder, okay, which contains a file named fakebackend.js, just as mentioned here. And also friends, it doesn't matter whether you put it here .js or not, because it actually recognizes it by just its name. Okay, so you don't need to mention its extension here. So from fakebackend.js there is a function known as fake backend, okay, named like this, which is basically being used inside our app.js imported here. Okay, you can see. Also friends, because this is capital there, so I have to make it just like this. Okay, so fake backend, and here I will use some JavaScript, and you must be familiar with it. Okay, and if not, you can go through my lectures, okay, for JavaScript, which I will be making very soon. And after this, let me tell you what next I'm going to do. So I am going to write here where mock. I am just creating a new variable mock, okay, which will be used to create a new mock adapter using the Axios API. So new, and then here I will write mock adapter, and then mock adapter is kind of a handle, okay, which allows the data transfer between our application and our backend server. And what I have done here, I will write it here for you. So this basically sets the mock adapter. This sets the mock adapter on default instance, okay. So this is it. After this, here we need to use this mock variable, and I'm applying on post method, okay. You can get all of the details on the methods that I'm using here. I am sharing a link for this, okay. You can get all of the information on using this Axios API, okay, how to post this get request, post request, and multiple concurrent requests. Everything you can get from this web page, okay. and I am going to share its link in the description box so you can read it from there and get more clarified. And so here I was using mock.onPost, and inside this string I am going to give it the relative path register. Okay, and I will make this directory very soon. And after this, reply is basically a method, okay, which is defined inside this Axios API. So here I have to write this function, and I am declaring here config is a kind of method, okay, inside the Axios API, and you can also get its information in this article. So config, and here I am writing const user. Okay, this is my user which is logged in, and after this I want to parse its information in the form of a JSON file. Okay, so here I am writing json.parse, and then in the parse function I am passing this config. Okay, and inside config you have to pass a string that is data, okay, which will contain all of this data about this user to verify this. Okay, so end this statement here, this, and let me make it more clear. So here I have written it just like this. Okay, and after this let me also put it here for you. Inside this, next what we have to do, you have to get this user's ID. So here I'm writing user.id equals user.id, the ID which I have defined here 1. Okay, so what we are basically doing, you have to get its length. Okay, user.length, which will give provide me with the length of the user's ID, and I am adding here 1 to it, and that will become our user ID. Okay, I am reassigning it. This will be done for every user and is stored in our backend server. After this, I am going to post this user's data into my users array. So here I am writing users.post. Post is the method, okay, in arrays. So I am going to post this inside my users array, which will contain the data for all of the users in my application. After this, friends, I am going to return a promise from this function. So here I am writing return new promise, and inside this you need to write here function keyword. Okay, and as you might already know, there are two kinds of things that can happen inside a promise: resolve and reject. Okay, that is, some promise can be either resolved or reject. Okay, so here I have to write the timeout. So here I am basically using this function set timeout, okay, so that if the promise of, or you can say if I clicked on the login button and it is taking too much time, then either it will be discarded as an error, okay, or it will be accepted, or the user will be logged in our application. So for that purpose you have to set here some timeout function. So here I am giving set timeout, and then inside this function, okay, I am giving it here a function, callback function, and here I have to write the resolve. If it's resolved, then you have to return this 200, which is a code for successful login, okay, and the user's data to the backend. So end this statement like this. Okay, and so this is our code for this authentication. Okay, and in the next video we are going to write the next code in our fake backend.js file. So friends, this is it for now. In the next video we will continue writing our code in this file for making our testing backend server. Okay, so see you in the next video.